over here.
Come over here. How are you? Tudo bem, pessoal? Aqui Yo English, seu próprio caminho na língua inglesa. Estamos aqui, vamos na sequência com o vídeo que foi feito hoje na aula junto com a tutora Daphney da plataforma Cambly, quando eu pedi a ela que desse uma nota entre 1 a 10 de 4 habilidades, que é listening, ou seja, ouvir, talking or speaking, ou seja, falar, né, conversar, vocabulary, que é o vocabulário, portanto, essas 4 habilidades. E fluency, para terminar, que engloba a fluency, todas essas 3 habilidades anteriores. Aí, qual será, então, o score ou a nota que eu consegui, que nós do Yo conseguimos junto à plataforma Cambly? Vejamos, então, no vídeo a seguir. Come over here. See you next week no vídeo 2, ok? Eu vejo vocês na próxima semana no vídeo 2. Este, portanto, é o vídeo 1. Um grande abraço. See you soon. Bye, bye.
Hello there.
Hi there, Daphney. How have you been?
I've been well, Mr. Jose. How are you doing? Great.
Well, today I was thinking about to start a new series of videos to evaluate my skills on fluency in English.
Okay.
Could you help on this? And at the end of the video, I will ask you to evaluate me in a score between 1 to 10
Okay.
in the 4 skills: speaking or talking, vocabulary, listening, and fluency itself.
Okay. I'm writing it down. Okay. And then fluency. Okay. Perfect.
Okay, so I'd like to talk to you about today about the extremely cold weather that is coming up to our country next 2 days ahead. Brazil, mainly in the south of Brazil, the territory of Brazil, mainly in the south of our country, will be influenced by a cold air mass transported in the circulation of an anticyclone combined with a polar mass, you know. So the extremely cold weather we expect to get to temperatures that we never seen before here in São Paulo, for example.
Wow.
In Santa Catarina, another state in the south of Brazil, not so far from here, São Paulo, 600 kilometers, I think. There, the temperature expected is to get to 15 Celsius degree minus, negative.
Wow.
And here in São Paulo, we never suffer like, for example, 0 degrees before, or 1 or 2 or 3 minus 0 Celsius degrees before. So I'm going to prepare to suffer a lot the next few days.
Yes.
And about you in your country, or especially in where you live, about the weather in the winter, is it cold?
Sometimes it doesn't get that cold here because we're in the south. We get maybe like 1 maybe 2 snowstorms a year. We get some frost, but
Somewhat, could you repeat, please?
oh, we get some frost, which means like the ground freezes.
Ah, frost, okay.
But you know, it's not that terrible. Sometimes if we have plants that are in containers, they survive through the winter. So you know, it doesn't get that cold here, but sometimes it does. So it just depends on the year. But like, I'm trying to see, I'm curious if we're gonna have some cold weather. It's getting really hot for the next week.
Yeah, because you in the United States, you are in the summer.
Yeah.
I heard that in the United States, in the summer, the temperatures are so hotter than here in São Paulo or in the south of Brazil, for example.
Yeah.
I heard that in New York, for example, that in the winter it is extremely cold. In the summer, the temperature hits some 40 degrees Celsius.
Oh wow. Yeah, it doesn't get that hot here. It's like, for instance, it'll be 36 degrees Celsius in like 2 days. So, and that is normally about as hot as it gets here, is about 36. And then I'm trying to do the calculations. Maybe it might get like -6, maybe, you know, not that often. It's typically around 4 degrees Celsius, 4 to 10 degrees Celsius here in the winter. So we have jackets for cold. I'm
preparing myself with clothes, but because the problem here for us in general is because we don't have any preparation support like you. American people has like you, because we don't expect extremely cold weather, even in the winter time. Here in São Paulo, for example, we never before, I don't remember that we get 0 degrees before. And that mass, a polar mass that is coming up, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going to happen to us here.
But you know, we get really weird things like hurricanes and tornadoes here that you can't really prepare for. Not really. I mean, you can sort of, but you just kind of learn, and like, okay, you acquire things the first time, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna make sure we have.
For example, you in your house, do you have a kind of heating system or process or something like that?
Yeah, we do have heat in our house, and we have a fireplace.
Okay, so I don't have a fireplace. I don't have a heating machine here to warm the internal temperature. So
but you know, my friend, I have a good friend that lives here, and she could not have heat in her house. And so what we had done is, because we have a garage and my kids like to play in the garage, so we got these little heaters to try and heat up their small area in the winter. But we gave her a couple of those, and they're just small electric heaters you could plug into the wall, and it would heat up her whole room in the winter. So that way it kept her from getting too cold. It kept her from, her dog from getting too cold. And they were not that expensive. They were maybe $20 at the store.
Yeah, not so expensive.
Yeah. Especially if this is something that doesn't happen very often, maybe having like one of those, so you could you close your door, you plug it in, and you're good.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to heat up your whole house.
In fact, I have a kind of heater, but it's a small one,
Yeah.
And I don't know if it is enough to warm the environment in my bedroom, for example.
Yeah. Maybe you should try.
And okay, let's start our evaluation.
Okay.
Don't you mind to do that, do you?
Okay. Yeah, I have a hard time because I don't know. I feel like you're not at a 10, right? Because that's why you're working on this. And so I want to make sure that I'm being accurate in my assessment, but also encouraging, because this is hard what you're doing. And I feel like you're able to carry on a good conversation with somebody. I can understand what you're saying. You can understand what I'm saying. And outside of a couple of, pauses or a little grammatical errors here and there, you're doing very well. There were just two things that I heard, and I tried to type one of them and I forgot. But one of them you said 2 days in the future or something like that when you're talking about the cold that's going to be coming. You would say instead of that, you would say in 2 days there will be a cold front coming.
Yeah, so in 2 days there will be.
Yeah. But I knew what you were saying. It didn't take away from what you were saying, but that would bring, a little bit of your speaking, a little bit of the fluency, score down. So I would say, for that, I would say, that would be like a 7, I think that would be a good score.
7 in what skill? You mean fluency?
Well, because you speaking and fluency, I feel like would be the same thing, right? Like you're speaking. Yeah. And your fluency, I think that would be the same thing. I think your vocabulary was good as well. I would say that probably would be a 7 too. Your grammar, there were some good things that you were saying. You were doing some adverbs and expressing things which were good. And your listening was great. I would give that an 8 because you engaged in listening to what I had to say, and you had good examples, like for the New York example that you used. And how we do have resources here in the United States that are easy to acquire when we have emergencies like cold snaps or heat waves. So I hope that was helpful.
So my listening is scored with an 8 score. Is it right?
Yes.
The fluency / speaking is about 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
You said.
Yeah.
And my vocabulary, grammar in general?
Yeah. I would say that would probably be a 6. I think you could be using better words you were using a lot of basic words, but some of the grammar that you were.
Yeah.
So.
I'm so grateful for you to do that. Thanks a lot.
Oh, you're welcome. welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad we
And
were able to see each other again today. I enjoy our classes.
I will appoint another class with you. So have a good day. Have a good week.
Thank you. You too, Jose. Stay warm.
Stay fresh. Bye-bye.
Come over here. Come over here.